Hello, Trailblazer. This is Paramita, Salesforce developer. Now, today I am going to practice Apex hands-on. Okay, so you can carry on with me and practice at the same time. Now, before I start, a few things I want to discuss. Like, if you are a newcomer, just starting Salesforce development, I would like to inform you a few things like it's not like that if you want to become a Salesforce developer, you have to be good only in coding. I think the first step to start will be like Salesforce administration certifications. Certifications or super badge, whatever you want, you can do because you should have good knowledge about the Salesforce administration, like especially the relationships uh, among the objects. First of all, different objects, standard objects, custom objects, fields, and their relationship, different kind of relationship like master detail, lookup, or the object relationship like one-to-one, one-to-many, many-to-many, and all those things you should understand. And Salesforce always encourage to use the declarative tools available. Okay, there are so many declarative tools like formula field, cross formula object formula field, validation rules, flows, so approval process and all those kind of things. You should have knowledge of those so that you can decide that where to use Apex and where to use the declarative tools. Okay, so depending on different scenarios, we have to see which is more beneficial to use. Now, but if you want to deep dive in Salesforce, I think you should have a really good knowledge in SOQL and SOSL and Apex also, definitely. And so, yeah, so if you are just starting your Salesforce journey, I would say first you understand that basic thing, the administration part. So, and then jump into the Apex and stuff. So yeah, so Apex is basically you can see Apex is basically like a strong object-oriented language, and it's developed by Salesforce itself. Okay, if you have done any object-oriented language before, especially like Java and C Sharp, you will feel it's quite similar to that. In fact, Java, I have done Java, like I will say Apex is very, very similar, like the syntax and the writing style and all, it's very similar to Java. So if you have done Java before, you can pick it up very fast. Okay. So in this video, we'll do some hands-on practice. Okay, not much theoretical. If you want to read more theoretical, there are a lot of sources available in internet. Just type in Google, it will come up, and best place is of course the Trailhead. Okay, you can go to Trailhead and you can start with the quick start with Apex thing from there. So we will see those things later on. So now quickly I will start, and then also like why we use Apex, like what are the features. You can see I have written something here. I leave this I am starting a blog here. I am trying to make it more arranged. I will leave this link below in description section. Okay, you can come up and you can read, no problem. Now, when we will use Apex, of course, it's built-in security is a matter because Salesforce, uh, whenever we use Salesforce, basically we are having that benefits of Salesforce security. The Apex also runs in multi-tenant environment, and it got that security of Salesforce. Now, data manipulation using Apex and using SOQL within the Apex, I'll say we embed SOQL within Apex to work with the data in Salesforce. Okay, we can do all DML operation, like we can insert, we can delete, we can update, we can select data. Okay, so all CRUD operation we can do using Apex. Then integration, when we do integration, like when we want to integrate our Salesforce org with third-party system, or we or other third-party system wants to take some data from our Salesforce, or like inbound, basically inbound integration, outbound integration. In both the situation, we can use Apex. Okay, so we'll practice those things also, integration here later on, of course, and we'll practice inbound and outbound integration. And then asynchronous Apex also will say, asynchronous Apex means like, like some process will run behind, okay, to it will not block the other operations to run. And there are a lot of purpose why we will use asynchronous Apex sometimes. It helps to improve the, like to improve with the governor limits also. We'll discuss all those things later on, what is governor limits and all, and how we can cope with that. And then test coverage. When we write Apex classes and triggers, etc., in Salesforce or before deployment, there is a limitation that we have to test it properly. So we'll write some unit test classes as well. And we have to have at least 75% code coverage. In reality, when we do the development and all, I always try for 100% if it's possible. And so it depends on the company policy and all, but in Salesforce, there is a restriction that you have to have 75% code coverage. 75% code coverage means, what is that? That means when you write the code, line by line, every statement and all, whether your test is testing, each and every line of statements or not. So they are at least, out of all the code you have written, at least 75% coverage should be there. Now, trigger supposed, yes, of course, when you write the trigger, we have to use the Apex. Now, what is trigger and all, we'll discuss this later on also. Probably in my next video, I will write some trigger and we'll discuss about this, okay? How to write trigger and where to use and everything with practical scenarios. And then Visualforce lightning component. Yeah, when we develop like lightning, some custom lightning component using lightning, like LWC or LWC and all, there also we can use Apex. Okay, and yeah, so pretty much I have discussed the a little bit, and without as I said, if you need more information, you always can go to the trailhead and find some more information. So here I will stress on the hands-on practice, okay, and how fast we can, like sometimes what happens, we know Apex and all, but all the time we're not going to use Apex. So if you want to recapitulate, okay, so how I do this fast, that I'm going to show you. You can practice with me, or even if you are learning new, then also I found this very useful, so I'll share that with you, how to practice hands-on and how to remember everything. All right, so this is a free Salesforce developer console. I think at this moment you know how to create one free developers console. Okay, you can create from the scratch, or you can go to Trailhead and create on Playground, whatever you are comfortable. So this is my free developers org, which I have already created. Now here in the settings icon, I will click and you can see there is setup, service setup, developers console. Okay, I'll click on developers console. Now you can write Apex directly in the developer console, or if you want, you can do it in your Visual Studio Code also. If you are, I'll use my developers console. Okay, so yeah. So what I'm going to do first, I will create an Apex class. So this is the developers console, and we'll go to the file and then new. See, there are a lot of options: Apex class, Apex triggers, Visual Force, whatever you want to create, you can create here. And now LWC, you cannot create in developers console straight away, but there are some extension available nowadays. That's okay. We'll discuss this later when we do LWC. So now we'll create our Apex class. So give it a name. So what name I will give? I'll give calculator. Okay, I'll create a calculator using Apex. So I'll give it a name calculator. So when you give that, see, automatically one like broiler plate came up. It says public class calculator. Now, what is public? What is class? Okay, so these are basically, I would say, reserved word, keyword for affix. Like same like in Java. In Java also had some reserved word like keyword. So here also. Now, few keyword I will just discuss with you. Uh, like what is public? Okay. Now, public means, yeah. See, these quite a few keywords are very, very important. There are some more, but like global, public, protected, private. Okay. Now, global means what? You know, the name already implies global. Okay. That means when we declare one class or the method inside the class, what is method you will see later on. If we declare them as a global, that can be accessed from anywhere, from any namespace, not only your own namespace. It can be used by other namespaces also. Like normally we use this kind of declaration when we create like managed package and all, so that everyone can use those things. Okay. Now, public means it will be accessible by any apex code in the same namespace. Okay. Now, yeah, so, and then protected means it will be accessible within the class and its subclasses, if any. Within the class we can create subclasses. I mean, one class can have subclasses. So we can, if some class or method is like, if some method is declared as protected, that means that can be used within the same class where the method is declared, or by its subclasses. Now, private means it will be accessible within that class only. Okay, like if we declare any method as private, so that will be available within that class only. It cannot be called from other class. Now, yeah, we are going to see some method, but before that, yeah. So just I gave a little idea. So what is public? So remember, global, public, protected, and private. Okay, these four types of keyword is used to define the access. Okay, to define the access, like who can access this class or the method within the class. We'll write some method within the class. Okay, so now we know what is public. Then class. What is class? So class is basically a blueprint of all instances. Okay, of that type of class. So, if you have done any object-oriented programming, like any Python, Java, anything, you know what is class. I don't need to tell. Okay, but uh, uh, if you want to understand, if you are totally new in coding or in object-oriented language, just Google what is class. You will understand that. Okay, with an example. Okay, basically, I will say same class is like blueprint of same types of instances or objects. Okay, like suppose you are in school, like class 1, class 2, class 3. Within class 1, all the people who says they belongs to that class 1. Okay, so they read the same subjects. Okay, they wear the same uniform. So like that. So class. Okay, so uh, now within this class, and class will have different properties. Okay, like suppose class 1. So what kind of textbooks are available there? Okay, those are the properties. What class, what kind of classroom is there, or what kind of uniform is there? Okay, those are the properties of that class. So similarly here also we'll have properties. Okay, we'll declare variables, we'll create methods. All these are the properties of those classes. Okay, and they can be used by any instance of those class. So gradually you will understand those things, and I will start now. Public static. What is static? I'll explain later on. Public static void. This is a void method. Add. Yeah, this method name is add. And I will pass two variables within this method. Okay. Integer A, integer. Apex is not case sensitive. You can use capital letter or small letter, it doesn't, like I wrote integer like this. If I want, I can write like this, it doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm just writing everything in small now. So integer b. Okay, so public static void add integer a, integer b. So I am passing two variables within this add method, and what this method is going to do, it will not return anything, it will print. Okay, now whenever you learn any new language, you should know how to declare the variable, what the data type, and how to print the output. Okay, so how do we print the output? Like in Java I used to do like system.println. So here it's system dot debug. Okay, system.debug. What I'm going to print, I am going to print add. So I will add basically these two variables a plus b. I can write here directly a plus b, but what I'm going to do, I will integer. I am taking another variable result. I'll put the result inside this result variable, and I will print here result. I'll give a gap plus, oh, sorry, plus this variable result. Okay, so basically I am printing the result here. Control S. So I saved it. Now when you save, if there is no any error or anything, you see it will be like this, no star here. But if there is any error in your code, you will see it will not save like this. There will be a star and it will not save properly. You will get the message here. Like suppose I will not give the semicolon here now. Okay, Control S. See, the star is here. Okay, so that means there is some error, and this error normally, yeah, come here. See, come to the down of this developers console. In the problems you can see missing semicolon at line 5. Okay, so it will come like this, so you can check those things. So now I will give the semicolon. Control S means saved. See, it will change. See, that star thing is gone here. Now it's saved properly. Okay, so this is about the developer console, how we can check the errors, how we can debug. So this is a method I have already written, and this is public method, so it can be accessed from other class also. And static means uh, when we call this method, uh, we don't have to create the instance of this class calculator. Okay, what is creating instance? I will show you that one also later on. Now first we are using the static method so that we don't need to create another instance to call this method. Now void, what does it mean by void? Void means it's not returning anything here. Okay, if you would return something, suppose instead of writing system.debug, I'll just do that commenting thing here. So how do we comment here? If it's a single line comment, we can use this sign. Okay, double forward slash. So I just commented here. Suppose I will write here return result. Okay, this result variable. So after adding it will, this method will return result. If the method return result, then I cannot write here void. It will give the, if I control S now, it will give me error. Okay, I cannot write, see, it's giving the error. Void method must not return a value. When it's void, it can do a lot of, it can perform some execution, it can print, it can do other execution, but it cannot return the result if it's declared as void. So what we have to do now, in that case, if it returns a value, we have to see the data type of that value. Like here, a is going to be an integer value. Integer value means it's a whole number. B is going to be a whole number, so the result will be integer as well. So we can write here, it returns an integer value. So the type of the, after public static, we have to write integer, because it will return the integer type value. Okay, see, now the error will go. I'll just do the control, I just did the control S, the error is gone. Okay, so that's the difference between a void method and other method. Now here the return type is integer, that's why I wrote integer. But here, if it was returning, suppose one string value means like texts, like suppose parameter. If it's a value, then it will be string type. Now I will talk about the data type, but before that, just explaining this. So if it returns integer type value, so the method has to be integer type. Okay, so public static integer. All right, so now in this case, I will not do it integer type, I will make it a void one. I will comment it out and I'll uncomment this. Okay, I want to print the result. Okay, so that's why I created one void method. So now again, save it. And now we are going to result. Okay, what's going to, now how we will call this method? Basically, the object oriented language, like the main purpose, like I will say, like it's very modular. You can call this same method from any other class also. Okay, not just in this class, because it's public. If it's private, of course you cannot, but it's public. Okay, now how we can test the result, that how we can use. Now what we are going to do here, see on the top tab there is debug. In the debug, I will go to execute anonymous. Now, so basically I will call this method here from here. Okay, now there are a lot of ways, but when you first do the practice, it's easier to do it in this way from the executive, sorry, in the developers console. If you go to the open execute anonymous window, if you go here, it's easier to test your things, whatever you written. Okay, now again I'm saying you can use the Visual Studio Code, you can do everything there, but it's just easier to do it here itself, and it's Salesforce provided tool, so I am doing it here right now. Okay, so now I want to call this method. So because I have declared it, it's static, so I don't need to create one instance. How to create instance, I'll show just after this one. So how can I call? I will take the name of the class. So here it's calculator dot the method name. What is the method name here? Add. Okay, and what I'm going to do, I am going to pass two values to this variable. Here I am passing two variables, say A and B. So what are the values for them? Suppose 5, 6. Okay, so yeah, that's all actually. So it should give me the result of what? Because this method is adding them. Okay, so it should give me the result 5 plus 6, which is 11. Now execute. Now if you don't tick this on, it will not automatically open the log. You have to open the log, but if you tick it, open log, that's what I do every time. Now execute. So once you execute, you can see the result. Now there are a lot of results will come. You can see, just to check like what is the printable result, just click here, debug only. Okay, there are quite a few things here, this frame, executable, debug only, filter, etc. So just check on debug only. So it will show you only that system.debug we used to print. So only those results. See, it's showing result 11. So that's what we wanted. This is the result. This is basically a text. We are adding this, plus is an operator. We are adding this with the result variable value. Okay, so the result is 11 we got. Okay, so we have created our first Apex class and also a method within that Apex class. Now similarly, you can try other things. Okay, before going further, I will show you if it's not static. Okay, what we have to do. Suppose if we don't declare the method static, we just write public void this. Then how we can call this method? Okay, that is a little bit different. So as I already mentioned before, so I will go here. These things will not work directly like this. So then what we have to do first, we have to create one object of this class or instance of this class. Okay, so to do this, first I will write the class name. Actually, the class name I prefer to do the first letter capital. It's okay, I will do this later on. Okay, just make it calculate. Control save. Okay. So to create the instance of this class, I'll write calculator. Then I will give a variable name, suppose ABC equals new. Just like Java. In Java, it was also same, like new operator. New calculator. Okay. And then instead of writing the class name here, we'll use that variable name ABC. Okay, so basically directly we cannot call the method if it's not static. First we have to create a variable, or you can say instance of this class here. So basically we are creating this ABC instance for this calculator class, and then from that instance we are calling this method add. Okay, and we are passing the variable same way. Now if we do execute, we'll get the same result. Okay. Yeah, so that's the difference between the static method and non-static method. If your method is non-static, to call that, first you have to create one instance of that concerned class, and then you can call the non-static method. Okay, so that's why I prefer to make it static. It will be easier to call it. Okay, all right, so I will create another method here. Similarly, public void, sorry, static also. I'll create it static method. So public static void. Another one I will create, suppose multiply. That was add. Now this is going to multiply two numbers. Okay. And I am going to pass this time not an integer type data. I will pass, I mean variable. I'll pass one decimal. What's the difference between decimal and integer? You can understand from the name. So integer is like only the whole name. Okay, now decimal will accommodate the decimal numbers also, not the whole name and decimal number like 1.25, 3.5, etc. Now especially when we work with the currency and all, we have to use like decimal, because most of the time it will be with decimal numbers. So it's up to you, as per the requirement you can choose the data type. Now what data types Apex support? There are quite a few, just like other language like integer, long, double, decimal. Then string means like a text, like in my note I have mentioned some primitive data types and non-primitive data types. Like there is ID also. You haven't seen that in Java or other language. The ID means it will accommodate all the record IDs in Salesforce database, like 15 digits, 18 digits, and string just like text, and then Boolean, yes or no, date time. Date time means it will include date and time both. Time only the time part. Object, blob, and now for more details you can check. I have mentioned in the note the sources here. There's a help section in the like developer help, sorry, developer.salesforce.com. So there I have mentioned the link. You can go and you can read in detail about the data types. Now non-primitive data types, quickly just I'm saying like a subject. You can create you can use this data type like for any object, standard or custom object in the Salesforce, like account data type, contact data type, lead data type, like that. Collections, list, set, map. I'm going to discuss these things in this video itself. Enum is some like user will get this kind of data type. I will discuss in other video. Now objects, etc. So there are quite a few like primitive and non-primitive data type. I hope you got a little bit idea. I am making this video a little fast. If you want to read in detail, you can go and check in this link. Okay, and if you have done other like Java or and any other programming language, you should have a little bit idea of these data types. Okay, so so now here this time I'm using decimal because I want this to multiply not only the whole number, it should be able to multiply any decimal numbers as well. Okay, so now similarly, because I am passing here a decimal variable, so I will declare the result variable also as a decimal. Excuse me. Result equals a into, this is the multiply sign, a into b. Okay, now similarly system.debug, it will print the result here. Okay, now control S. Now I am excuse me, now I am going to call similarly the calculator dot multiply. Okay, and I am passing here 5.5. Okay, I just pass here. Okay, now I am going to call similarly the multiply method. Okay, and now multiply. Now you can call both the methods from here. It's up to you. I'm just calling the multiply one now. Now I will pass two decimal number. Suppose 5.05 and 6.25. Okay. Now let's see. Execute. Debug only. See, I got the result. Okay. Now you can use your calculator and you can check if it's giving the correct result or not. It will give the correct result. Okay. So now similar. So like this, we can create another method like divide method, subtraction method, and all those stuff. And then you can use whatever method you want. Okay. Now I suppose like that after this you have understood about what is class, what is method, and how we can call those method. Okay, and then how you can use different data type like this, how you declare variable, how you print the result, all those basic stuff you have understood. Now we are going to discuss about the collection. Okay, the collection in uh, Apex. Like I have already mentioned that some data type like list, set, map. Okay, so basically when we talk about collection in Apex, that means this kind of data type actually they hold a collection of similar elements. Okay, like a list. I'll create a list now. Suppose these are very important because most of the time we are going to use we are going to work with the collection in Apex when we will work with the data, because normally we have to work with a lot of data. Okay, multiple data, not just one record. Maybe sometimes we will work with one particular record, but most of the time we have to work with bulk record. Okay, so in that case this collection is really helpful, so you should understand this collection. Okay, so there are basically three types of collection here: list, set, and um, map. Okay, now what is list? I think I made one note for these things also. I have mentioned in my note. I created the note in all those pages. I think maybe I have created, I can't remember, but I am going to update all these pages. Now, if you click here, um, yeah, if you click like this, you'll reach here. Okay, collection. See. Okay, so as I said, list, set, map. Okay, so list is an ordered list of elements. Set is an unordered list of unique elements. Set doesn't allow duplication. List allows duplication. Map is collection of key value pairs. Now, how to use those, why to use those, you will understand once you understand what it is. Now, uh, I will create one list here. I'll create another method first, okay? Public static void. Now we are understanding the basics, okay? Like how we can create list, how we can add the element to that, how we can print the element from list, all those stuff. And after finishing this list set and map, I'm going to show you how to work with in actual Salesforce data, okay, using the Apex. Like we'll create maybe some account or contact, we'll delete them, we'll update them. So all those DML functions we'll do using the Apex. Okay, before that, it's need to understand these basics first. Now, public static void, I'll give it a name of my list. Okay. Now I will create a list. Now list type. Now what type of element is containing? Again, you need to understand the data type. Is it containing like integer, is containing string, or whatever data type? Okay, so that you have to mention here. Now this time I'm going to use string type element inside the list. Now give it a variable name, something like that. I'll give it a name ABC, or not ABC. I'll give it a name city. Okay, we'll create a list of city equals new. We will use the new operator here. List string. Okay, it's quite similar like creating an object. So the syntax is like this. So we created a list now, okay, and give the list name. The error is gone. I thought some error is there. It takes some time to go the error. Okay, so we created a list here with a variable name like city. Now, is at this moment, this is an empty list. I want to add some value there. So city dot add. This is a method. What value I want to add? Some city, I will add Melbourne. Yeah. And then I will add Sydney. Then I will add Perth. Okay. So like this, you can add. So now, basically, we will have these three elements inside the list. And now I want to print it. Whatever we'll get. System dot debug city. We'll print the value of city. Okay. So if we print the value of city, I'll show you. You will see it will print all the name. Okay. All the name of the city. But maybe we don't need all the name. I just want particularly the Sydney or Perth. Okay. So I'll show that also later on. But before, we'll just print the city. So to do that, similarly, I will go to execute anonymous block, and then we will call this time my list. Okay, not the other one. We'll just call my list, and we are not passing anything. I say this method, like in these methods we passed some variable, we are not passing anything here, so we'll just keep it as it is. So just call the method and see what happens. Debug only. See, it printed the value of the list variable city, and at this moment that city list is containing all of these three values. Now suppose I don't want to print all of them, I just want to print the Sydney or part. Now because because we have added it in the sequence, they will be placed in the list in the same sequence, because as I said, list is an ordered list. Okay, I mean, it holds the element in order. Okay, so we can do indexing. Now index starts from 0, so the index, that means the position of Melbourne will be 0, Sydney will be 1, Perth will be 2. Okay, and the length of the list here will be 3. We can find out all those things. Suppose I don't want to print the whole, like all the values in city. I just want city 1. Okay, so if we just print the city 1, what it's going to do, it will print me Sydney. Okay, let's see what happens. Now if I go, yeah, it's already here, so we'll just call this and we'll check the result. See, it's printed Sydney. I told it will not print the Melbourne because the Melbourne index is 0. If I put here 0, it will print Melbourne. Okay, oh, I think, oh, it was not saved actually, so it called the same. I didn't save it. Now I will save it, and yeah, see, I saved it. Last time I didn't save, that's why. So yeah, so now for the 0 position, it gave me the value of Melbourne. Okay, now so you understood about the list. Okay, so how we can add the value, and there is quite a few like methods available to work with the list. We can get the list length city dot, I think, size. Now suppose I will, because the size of the list will be integer type, so I'm just declaring the variable integer list size equals city dot size. These are inbuilt method we can use. Okay, now this one is going to give me the size of the list. Now here the size will be how much? As I said, there are 3 elements. The list size should come 3. Okay, even if the index start from 0, 0, 1, 2, but the size will be 3. Okay, so how I will print them? System dot debug list size. Okay, I just put this variable name list size. Yeah, so it should print the size of the, and save it please. If you don't save, you will not get the result. So now I will do the same thing. I will call this method. So first it's going to print this 0 position city name, which should be Melbourne, and the list size should be 3. Okay, so let's see. So I'll call the same method mylist execute. Oh, sorry, it was from something else. It was a different class. Why it should, ah, I didn't change the class. This is something I practiced before. So the class name here is calculator dot mylist. Okay, yeah, see, the first city is Melbourne. Okay, which is at 0 position, 0 index, and the length of the list is 3. Okay, now so now you have understood. So list is basically one ordered list of elements. Okay, So it will go like 0, 1, 2 like this. But now we are going to see set. What is set? Now within the same method, what I'm going to do, I don't want to print any of this list now, so I'm just commenting it out. In the same method, we'll create, some set. So like we created that list, similarly we create set. Now set, you have to use the set type, whether it will contain string, integer, decimal. You have to mention that what it's going to contain. And suppose if it contains s object elements, if like account, so you can write like this account. Okay, so we'll do this later on. Like I already explained, there are some data types, s object data types. Okay, so when we will work with the data, we'll do all those stuff. Okay, now we are just showing the basics thing. So this one also I will do string. Okay, string type set, and we'll give it a variable name. Maybe this time I'll give fruits. Okay, fruits, then equals new set string type. Yeah, just like list. So we created one set, and now we are going to add some I'll do control S. So add some element to that set. Okay, like fruits dot add mangoes. Okay, then just copy paste to save some time. Okay, now mangoes, apple, pears, now suppose I want to add mangoes again. So you will see it will not add. Even if I am adding 4 times, it will give the result only with the 3 elements. Okay, because set doesn't allow duplication. But here, if you had in the list, if you had Melbourne another time, okay, I'll just show you. If you add Melbourne another time, it will add it 2 times. Okay, so in list, duplication is possible. I will print the city. I'll print the, what I'm going to do, I'll print here city, so you can see what it's including. Okay, all right, so you'll see the difference between list and set also here. And second difference is that set is unordered. Like here, if we put 0 position, it will print Melbourne only, but here it's not that. Here it's not ordered like this, it's unordered. It can print in any order, anytime, every time it can be different. Okay, so now I will print system dot debug fruits. Let's see what happens. Okay, control S, I saved, and now I'm going to execute that method. I'm going to call that method mylist from calculator class. Okay, so execute. Yeah, look, now we added Melbourne 2 times in the list. It's showing as it is. Okay, but here we added mangoes, I think 2 times, but it's showing only 1 time. And see, it's not in order also. It's unordered because first we added mango. If we go to the class, see, first we added mango, but it's showing in the second position. So set is unordered collection of unique elements. Okay, and list is an ordered collection of same type of elements. Okay, so like list and set, we are going to create map now. Now the difference between map and other collections are that it's a collection of key and value pairs. Okay, so that means one element inside the map will contain one key and one value. Okay, so here when we are mentioning the data type, we have to mention both the data types. The first one is for data type for the key, and the second one is for data type for the value. Now here in my case, I will put the key also string type, value also string type, but it can be different. Okay, key can be number, value can be string, it doesn't matter. Okay, now for me, I'll give both same, and I'll give it a name, the variable a name, whatever you want you can put. I just put cn. Okay, city name. Cname equals new map string same. Okay, so all same, only the difference is that here within the map each element will contain one key and one value. Okay, now I want to put some element there. When I'm going to put the element, cn, like here I have used add method here. Okay, in the list also, in the set also, but here there is no add method. Instead of add, we will use put method. Okay, we're going to put some element, and the key will be first, and then value will be one city. Give it a new name for a city, maybe London. Okay, then another keyword value, keyword value, cn dot put second, another city name, Kolkata. Okay, and then another value I'm going to put cn dot put Mumbai. Mumbai. Another city name I will put Hyderabad. Okay, Hyderabad. This is also a city in South India. All right. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I forgot to put the key. For this one, key will be third. See, always remember that's the main difference with map with other collection. Okay, there should be key and value pair in each element, and this one I'll put fourth. Yeah, so the first element will be first and London, second element will be this, third. Yeah, put all the commas and inverted commas, everything rightly, otherwise it will give the error. You will see that in the problems here. Okay, where is the error? Yeah, see, now everything is fine, it saved properly. Excuse me. Yeah, so here we have put 4 elements in the map. Now I will just print the whole map here, and we'll see how it prints. Now system dot debug cn. Okay, so cn is this map name here I have put. Okay, so we'll print the whole cn and we'll see what happens. So save it now. We don't need so much gap actually here. Yeah, so we'll use our anonymous block again. So here the same my list. Okay, now all these things I'll comment out now. I don't want to see any list or any set at the moment. I'll just see the map. Okay, so I just commented out there all the system.debug thing in the other variables like list and the set. All right, so now I am going to execute. Yeah, now it's showing only the map because I didn't save before after commenting out the list and set, but now I have saved. So it's showing only the map. So anyway, it's good to see actually all together. You can see the difference between list and set and map. So map is like key value pair. First is here key and value is London. Okay. So, but one thing is that this is also unordered. Okay. It's not ordered like list. In list, that's why when we want to see a particular item, we can use the index like 0, 1, 2 like this, but we cannot do that in set or in the map. So in the map, suppose if we want to get the value of this Hyderabad, what we have to do? Instead of using index, we will use the key value. Yeah, so to get that particular value, what we have to do, we can use another method, cn.get. So to put the value, we'll use put, and to get the value, we'll use get. Cn.get, inside we will put the key value. Okay, so key value for Hyderabad is 4th. And also what we are going to do, we are going to keep the value in a variable called string city. Okay, so city is a string type variable which will hold this value from this key, and we are going to print that system dot debug city. Okay, so in this case what it should print, it should print Hyderabad. Okay, okay, in case I will write like this. I will do like selected city. Okay, yeah, now control save. Okay, all done. Oh, it's saying duplicate variable city because this is also one city. And okay, in that case we will just use another variable because it's within the same method. Okay, so we have to use some other name. We'll just write ci. Okay, then save. It should be fine. Okay, now we are going to check it, what value we get. Okay, so yeah, so execute calculate dot my list. See, Hyderabad. Okay, similarly if we want to get any other value, suppose we want to get London. Okay, so we'll just use the key first. All right, save and execute calculator.mylist, because all these things are happening inside the mylist. What is that? A mylist method. Okay, so we are calling the mylist from calculator class. Execute. See, we got London. So now I think it's clear to you that what is list, what is set, and what is map. So list is an ordered list of elements. Okay, ordered collection of elements. Set is an unordered uh, collection of unique elements. Okay, set doesn't allow any duplication. That's the unique thing about set. And then map, and map is totally different from both of them. It's a collection of key value pairs. That means each element inside the map is a collection of key and value. Okay, so this is the basics about the collection. Now in my so here whatever we have done so far, just I'm doing a summary. We have learned like what is class, how to declare the class, and what is the keyword of apex, like public, global, public, and then protected, and then private. Okay, so these are very, very important. Another thing also used to control the access in apex, that is sharing with and without sharing. So that I will discuss when I will work with the data. So And then we learned also like the method, how to declare method, like static method, non-static method. If you don't declare the method static, that means that is a non-static method. What's the difference? Because if we don't use the method as a static, when we call the method, we have to always create the instance of this class. And how to create the instance of this class, I have already shown you using the new operator. If you have forgot, go back to the video and watch it from the beginning. You will get that part, how to create the instance of a class. Okay. And then also we have learned different data type like integer, decimal, string, um, ID, a subject. I have already discussed that, different kinds of data type. It's in my note as well, and you can check in the developer's guide as well. Now, then we discussed, it's very important, collection in Apex. Collection in Apex. So how many types of collection are here in the Apex? 3: list, set, and map. And also we have clearly discussed like what's the difference between list, set, and map. Okay, list is an, I'm repeating it again quite a few times because if you are new, it will help you to remember, to memorize the thing. And at the same time, it's a practice for me also. So list is an ordered list of different same type of elements, and set is an unordered list of unique elements. Set will not allow any duplication, and map is collection of key value pairs. Okay, so each element in map will have one key and one value. Okay, so yeah, and so this is the thing about collection, and I will not make it too long, the same video, because maybe some people want to see the basic stuff, some people want to see the advanced stuff. So what I'm going to do, I will create my next video where now I will start to work with real Salesforce data using the Apex. Like I will show you how to select maybe different accounts or different contacts, okay, with some filter using the Apex, how you will select them, how you will show them, and then also how you will create, suppose, new records in any object. So basically the CRUD operation: create, update, delete. Okay, so if you like my video, please give it a like and subscribe my channel if you haven't yet, because that encourage me to create more videos. Okay, so thank you so much. Thank you for watching my video. Enjoy your day. Bye bye. And if we want to find the size of the list,